a combination of 1918 with the flu pandemic, 1968 with kind of mass demonstrations and riots, and then instances of police brutality. So it's been kind of the perfect storm of a lot of different trends coming at once.
I can only imagine how difficult it is in the US at the moment. If you wanted to maybe talk about that a bit.
As a lawyer, in general, you have a job you're a part of the justice system, whether you like it or not, whether it's civil, criminal, or other justice. So you have a special, unique role to ensure that the execution, delivery, and administration of justice is fair, even on the corporate counsel. And the role of the general counsel then as a member of the executive team is to ensure that the company, is making sure that the company takes care of its employees and supports the employees who are impacted by that. But then two, to be the voice of reason of the company and say, look, we need to take a stand on things. When the company, we stand for non-discrimination, we stand for fairness, inclusion, togetherness, and it's part of the general counsel's job to take a stand and make sure that everyone understands that we're not going to change. We're not going to back down in the face of all these challenges. We're going to continue to do what we do, deliver more moments of goodness, stand for togetherness, inclusion, and diversity. And I think that's been kind of the biggest challenge really in the last couple weeks.
We've had COVID-19 sort of take over work across the world. Maybe could you tell me how it specifically affected you and your work?
For a while there, we were not sure whether or not we were going to stay open, right? I mean, there was a big effort to make sure that, we weren't closed down. Luckily, we're a food company, food manufacturer, so we didn't have to make those kinds of struggles, and we also have a good balance sheet. But again, there are challenges, right? You're dealing with a kind of a fast-moving but unknown threat in the form of COVID-19. No one really knew who was sick, when they're going to get sick, how fast people were going to get sick, those things. So those are, dealing with that amount of uncertainty and the kind of the accelerated pace of decision making. Those are kind of the biggest changes initially. I think as we look forward, there were changes in consumer behavior. We typically sold through retail channels, Walmart, your local drugstore, your corner stores, those kinds of things. But with people being under lockdown, under quarantine, we saw a lot of people, the buying behavior changed. More people, shopping, staying at home, eating at home, therefore buying things online, Amazon, Walmart, those things. So I would say those are kind of the biggest changes: consumer behavior, the work environment, as well as kind of dealing with an unknown, fast-moving threat.
As general counsel, how do you lead a workforce that is essentially now all separate and working from home?
The biggest change is we went to a virtual workforce, professional workforce, overnight. It was one day we're all planning to go to the office, and the next day, boom, hey, we're all on Microsoft Teams going forward. So that was kind of the biggest change, is you don't have that same day-to-day interaction that you might have had with folks on, in the legal department as well as the executive team. It was an adjustment, but I can't say it was kind of, again, like working virtually right away. So I did have people in Dubai, I had people in Florida who had never really come to the office that often in Hershey. But it was different. You don't have the same ability to lead by walking around, right? So if you can't lead by walking around, you double your efforts to reach out to people. So it's like, I try to check in with every member of the team as much as possible, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It's a video call, not quite the same as a human-to-human contact, but those kinds of things, just to kind of do what you can to almost come as close as you can to replicating that interpersonal, human-to-human contact on a day-to-day basis. I
really loved the video that was posted on your LinkedIn. It sort of kind of humanized working from home, and it was fun.
I confess I had nothing to do with that. Folks on the team kind of put it together on their own and kind of shocked everyone. Like, hey, look what we did. And we're like, oh, this is fantastic. It is a perfect example, kind of when you combine culture in one hand and code in the other, and boom, you get spontaneity, innovation. I'm amazed at things that people can do. And that's actually the other side benefit of kind of this work from home and COVID-19. It sparks innovation, ingenuity.
I guess this kind of leads into the role of being general counsel and guiding a legal team across that many jurisdictions. I want to dive in and kind of what the role of general counsel is during times of crisis.
Yeah, each company is different, right? And each challenge is different, and each crisis is different. So I think if this was something where we had shareholder activists or a government investigation, if there's one woman, I think in something like a global pandemic, again, in my view, and this has been for us, it's really kind of a human relations type issue. How do you manage the safety and care of our employees? How do you allow them coming back to work? How do you compensate? All those things. So it's really been in support of to our our HR team, and then the primary is the care and feeding of the board in a time of crisis. What is the board's role in the time of COVID-19? What's the right level of oversight when the company and customers and consumers are all under stress? How do you navigate how do you help the board navigate its role from kind of day-to-day operations, high-level strategic to crisis type pace? And we're an American company, primarily our operations in the United States. The pace and a quantity of legislation coming out of the United States Congress and the U.S. government in the last 4 months is something that hasn't been seen in years. So how do you keep up with that? One, the laws that have been made, and then two, the laws that are coming. And how do you keep the executive team and the board aware of that? And then again, this is, the plaintiffs' lawyers and litigants are about to have a field day. You see this now in some of the cruise lines. You see this in nursing homes. Some other companies, some of our customers have been sued. It's really keeping abreast and trying to look, around corners so you can see things that are coming down the pike. And the Hershey would be to make sure the Hershey's ready.